the yin and the yang represents the divine feminine energy and divine masculine energy, right? So once you start to have that balance, you realize that I can tap into my feminine energy. So when I'm dealing with a female that is extremely feminine, who doesn't have a problem with submitting and listening to the wisdom and the knowledge of a man. And notice I say wisdom and knowledge because it's submission is not a curse word, right? But you just want to be submitting to the right person. Just like as men, you want to commit to the right person, right? A lot of people don't commit in relationships because they've been so scarred, bruised, and beat up from their previous relationships. It's just like, F that, right? But when you get with the right one, they're going to balance you out, right? When you get with the right woman, she's going to allow you to tap into that tender side of you. She's going to allow you to tap into your heart space, willingly, right? Openly, without fear of judgment, and without fear of manipulation, right? Because I would imagine that would be the biggest fear that men would have is just like being taken advantage of, you know what I'm saying? But when you meet the right one, you will be able to do that because she's going to balance you, right? But if you continue to deal with women that are overly masculine, then you're always going to be masculine. And then whenever you run into a female that's feminine, you're not going to know how to, number one, appreciate her. Like you going to be like, I don't know how to take her. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, is she real or is she, you know what I'm saying? So I just wanted to encourage you guys, and I'm about to get off of here because it's almost 30 minutes, right? So I just want to encourage you guys that all women are not the same, just like all men are not the same. But you guys y'all got to raise y'all standards. Y'all have to raise your standards. No, first of all, y'all have to realize that it's better out here. It's different out here, okay? It's better and different out here for you. Then, once you do that, you can start to attract that to you, right? You can start to raise your standards and be like, if I can have that, then why would I settle for this? And I've talked about it in other videos. Like sometimes you come into contact with certain energies that just elevate they elevate you energetically, right? And they show you something different, right? So I want to encourage you guys that when God shows you something different, believe it, right? And I'm talking to my divine masculine. I'm not talking to just any old Joe Schmo. I'm not talking to just any old person who's just, is in a toxic bag and they good with it. I'm not talking to people that operate willingly in their toxic masculinity, but I'm talking to the collective who is awakening and healing and becoming something different, acting different, wanting something different. And I want to encourage you guys that as you go through your awakening and as you start to ascend spiritually, as you become more sensitive to energies and how energies work, when you find that like I gotta be mindful of the people that I have around me, when you start to be like, I'm this way, but I realize that most people are this way, and I'm different. That means you're going through an awakening, right? So as you start to come into contact with different energies and God starts to show you things. Now, this may not be somebody that you are going to date. Like you may just run across this video and be like, you know what? Like if there's another her out here, then you know what I mean? Then I don't have to settle for feeling like, I feel like there's nothing worse than a man that is going through an awakening and who is ascending in other areas of his life, but yet they still feel as if they have to settle in their relationships, right? And this is probably something the divine feminines, I can say that this is something the divine feminines struggle with as well. You know what I'm saying? It's just like we be on a whole nother level, but it's just like, but we ain't meeting men that can meet us where it is that we are. And I feel like men go through the same thing. So as you come into contact with energies that resonate more with what it is that you would really want, number one, I want you to be honest with yourself, right? Like, I'll take one of those, right? I want you to be honest with yourself, right? And then I want you to be patient with God, right? Because just because you come into that understanding and that realization, that doesn't mean that, like, you may go out and find her tomorrow. Same thing with divine feminines, right? Just because we know that there's divine masculines out there, that doesn't mean that we just gonna wake up and we gonna find our divine masculine the next day. You know what I mean? Like, you may have to go through seasons of healing and seasons of celibacy and abstinence and, you know, just different things like that, just certain levels of your spiritual ascension, and you're not going to get it all right. You know what I mean? Like, you're not going to get everything right. God is not calling us to be perfect, right? But he is calling us to do something different than what we may have done in the beginning of our lives. And our soul is calling us to do something different than what we may have done in our past life. That's why we have karma, right? Karma is basically the punishment for the choices and the things that you may have done that weren't good in a past life. So you come into this lifetime to basically balance out that karma, right? So yeah, so you may not run out and find a divine feminine immediately, but I hope that I can sprinkle into your consciousness that there are different women out here, right? And I hope that I can sprinkle into your consciousness that whatever it is that you want and desire in a relationship, in a woman, you can have that, right? But just like with divine feminines, you have to take the time to actually dream, and don't have that thinking and feel like, yeah, you know, this is what I want, but I'll never have it, because then you're never going to have it. You're going to continue to manifest the same thing that you've always experienced. So I guess, you know, I'm here to normalize healthy, sexy relationships. I'm giving y'all all this Queen TV After Dark energy. So Queen TV After Dark is here to normalize healthy, sexy relationships. So I just want to encourage you guys. That what it is that you're seeking is also seeking you. What it is that you're seeking is also seeking you. I want you guys to keep the faith, right? I want you guys to get rid of that stinking thinking. And I want you guys to realize that as you ascend, as you go through your ascension and you go through your spiritual awakening, God is going to connect you with other energies that can match your energy, even in your relationships, right? So yeah, y'all, that's all I got for y'all. Pootie cooked for me, so like, I'm about to go eat this food. I'm about to go tear this food up. And know that I love y'all. I already told y'all at the beginning of the video, hit subscribe so you know every time I post up. Share this video with your friends. Share this video with your friends. Drop me a comment below. No matter of fact, y'all don't even gotta drop me a comment. Just drop me a red heart if you feeling what it is that I'm saying. If you picking up what I'm putting down, drop me a red heart below, okay? And remember, I love you.